Welcome to this look at ELMCREEK on Farming Simulator 22, one of the maps that comes with the base game. This is the console version of the map. With me, MrSealyp. Welcome to ELMCREEK. This is one of the new maps available on Farming Simulator 22, which will be available on Monday the 22nd. I've been lucky enough to get some early access. I did stream earlier on today, and I want to start off this map tour by saying the version of the game I had on PS5, and I got, this is on console, this is a console map tour, has had an update since I did the tour. So there's a couple of things that are going to be different. So hopefully you're watching this as well as having watched the stream, because you're going to find out a few extra bits and bobs, including the slot count. Slot count is fixed. For all those people that were concerned, it is fixed. So this is a Giants software map. Menus are a little bit different. There's a few things to get our head around. I also want to say this is not a deep dive into any of the actual features of the game. I'm not going to be going into depth about production chains. I'm not going into depth about how ploughing's done, fertilizing's done, seed. This is a map tour. I'm just going to do the map. We'll go around. We'll look at all the facilities. We'll look at the prices of stuff, because those types of things will be done in separate videos. The thing with the map tour being that on FS19 we got so used to how things were done anyway. But obviously people are going to want to know, I will show you the production chains and where they are, but to learn how to use them all, that will be done in separate videos. So just so people are aware, this is a map tour. The map itself, I want that one, and we want to go to there. This is the map. This is what it looks like. I'm on New Farmer. The three modes are almost the same as they used to be. I think there are a little bit of tweaks to the economy in them as well, though, now, although there are adjustments to the economy as well. So there's a few little tweaks. If I click on that, on New Farmer, we start here at this farm with field 44, 45 and 46. We do also start with a silo, and we start with a farmhouse. If I click on that, you'll see the farmhouse logo there, the silo logo there. That one's a water tank, which we also start with. Those aren't actually included in purchasable or sellable. So under the items you start with, that being said, when you come on Farm Manager or start from scratch, you don't start with those. It's not as relevant now because the slot count is so off the chain mad. I'll still do the slot count, I'll still explain all of that, but it's not as relevant as it was. Field prices and things, again, they're not too bad. Let's see if we can find a small plot. There we go. Field 47 there, 64,535. And then we go up to, let's find a biggish plot, 772,488. There was a large plot over here somewhere, 1,169,000. They do gradually work their way up. We've got some smaller sections, and there are some, like this one here. All of that, though, that's interesting. Oh, I thought it said 577,584. But there is a farm up there as well that you've got access to. I think there's a farm in each corner. One over there as well. And then we've got one down here. And one over here too somewhere. There we go, down there. We're going to kind of get round and have a look at most of the stuff. Biogas plant isn't as relevant, saying there is a biogas plant. It's a 1 megawatt biogas plant, but you can't buy the plot like you used to be able to. You have to buy the biogas plant just like you have to buy the production factories. So let's have a look. I'm trying to think, what do I need to show you next on here? On our options, oh yes, seasons, you know, is it seasons compatible? Seasons is a base game thing now. Again, this is not a deep delve into the seasons itself and how it all works. That would have to be done in separate videos. A couple of things to notice in this menu, which I showed on the stream. However, a couple of things have changed because I've got an updated version of it now. When I showed this, and you can change that down 3 to real time, half, and there was 33, like a third, that's gone now. So you can slow it down half speed, real time, 2, 3, 5, 6, 10, 15, 30. There's a few more options for speed on there, which is great. I'm going to bring that back down to real time. If we go down to seasonal growth, you can have seasons on or off. If you have it on, it's fine. If you turn it off, you'll see that some of the options change on the side. Put it back on. Days per month I didn't have on the previous version when I showed this, but you can change the days per month all the way up to 28. So you can run a full year, pretty much. I mean, obviously some days are 30, but you know what I mean, roughly, you know. Now this is an interesting one. You can have snow on or off. You don't have to have it. So in the winter, if you don't want snow, you don't have to have it. But there is some equipment for doing snow. I don't know if there are snow contracts. A lot of people have been asking that. Again, something I have to check. But this is interesting. Fixed visual month. Set whether a specific month should always be visible. Now, if you want dynamic visuals, so as you go through the seasons, the visuals change as it would do during the seasons, you leave it off. However, if I click this now to March, I don't know if you noticed in the background, sort of blurred, everything changed. You can set this, if you've got a favourite month of the year, it's very strange, I'm not sure why. If June's your favourite month of the year, for example, you can set it to June, and it will stay June regardless. The visuals won't change at all. Even if you run through the seasons, it will still look like it's June the whole time. It's an odd one. Let's go through to, say, December. Yeah, it's a weird option, but it is there. I thought I'd show it. I'll put it to off. What else have we got? Don't need to worry about any of those. I mean, that's just settings. You can go for the settings menus, but I thought we'd show you this. Now, on ELMCREEK, you don't start with any animals. So you don't start with any pastures or anything like that. You start with what we've got here. The farmhouse here, this is something new as well. The sleep trigger is here. If I click on sleep, it asks you what time you want to wake up. So rather than it only working from about 8 p.m. through till the morning, if I go back to there, I can wake up at 5 a.m., 6, 7, 8 or 9 a.m. So if I wanted to, bearing in mind it's now 8:42 in the morning, I could go to sleep now and sleep the clock round if I wanted to. Interesting. The other thing was in the menu. This was the other thing as well. If we go up through, we'll talk about slot count while we're here because we're going to be on the vehicles in a moment. So this menu is where all your vehicles and things are. Then if we go onto those, you can click on and have a look at all those. Now that's weird. Why? This seems to be changing every time I come on here. What is happening? When I came on to do a check around the map, this was saying the slot count was 293 out of 5,155. That's what it says up there. That's what our slot count is on New Farmer. 300. Can you think of a map? There aren't many. A couple of Alien Gym ones. Trying to think who else did a couple of maps. Did GB? That had a slot count that low, and that was when we had 1,299. 300 out of 5,155. Now, when I checked Farm Manager and Start from Scratch, let's just go down to what we start with. Owned items, this is what we start with on New Farmer, all of this stuff. But you actually have to click on each one now, and it will show you the vehicles you've got under each category. So this is what we start with on New Farmer. And the slot count's only 300. Oh, that one. That's crazy. So if you come on here to a Farm Manager Start from Scratch, you don't have any of this, and the slot count's 214. If it stays like that, of course. That on Monday, if there's any other updates or stuff that happen, any patches they do before then, it might tweak a little bit. But when you've got 5,155 to play with, or 2,000, was it 700 and something if you're on PS4, you know, it's not too much of a problem. And that includes the map and everything with all the details, all the production chain stuff, all the things that come with it. I think that's astounding. So yeah, as far as the start equipment, we've got the Velga trailer, header, we've got a rubber cultivator, we've got the Nordsten seeder, and then we've got a trailer for the header and a couple of other bits. So the other thing I will say though is if you come onto here on, like I said, Farm Manager will start from scratch. You don't have the farmhouse, you don't have the silo, and there's a water tank over there. You don't have the water tank either. Like I said, sleep trigger's there. Now this is something else that is different now. if I go to this menu down here, this wasn't here on the previous version when I did my stream, but we can access the animal dealer from here. We don't have any barns or pastures, so there's nothing to look at on there. But we can, we can do our wardrobe from here. So on the stream, I went off looking all over the place, and I'll show you where you can do it anyway, but you can do it from this main menu. So you can come into here, you can change your wardrobe to whatever you want, whenever you want from this menu. You can go to construction, which gives you all your options for all your build mode. Now again, build mode, that's going to be something else we're going to tackle. I love the fact you can actually see your character. We need a third person. We do third person. But you can do your build mode from in here if you want to. Like I say, that's going to be a completely different video. And then you can go to farmland, which is the main screen we looked at already. If I select that, you can then come onto here and you can select parcels land to buy or something like that from this menu if you want to as well. So there's a few different things. Now, obviously, those bits I'm not going to show on every map tour I do, but I thought it was relevant to show this. So we've got a pickup truck just here. And this lovely building, again, if you watch the stream, you'll have seen this. L3, we can turn on the lights in the pits to have a look down there. We've got a hayloft up the top here. We have to really whiz around the map now. It's the detail and the quality, the graphics quality is incredible. I'm honestly blown away by it. I think it's brilliant. I know some people on the stream were saying it wasn't very good. I'm quite surprised by that. Now these, obviously, these are everywhere at the moment. You can turn them off. This is a farmer, because I've got the field info on. The field info gives you info on everything. So we've got the Farmer 400 OB1000 silo. This is a 400,000 litre silo. As far as I'm aware, it's a standard crop type silo. Like I said, we can turn all of those off if we go into our menu. And which one was it? Interactive zone markers. If I turn that off, they disappear. Back on, they come on. So that's the interactive zone markers. If you don't want those on, you can get rid of them. I'll grab a trailer actually. We'll check the capacity. That's 400,000 litres, but what goes in it? And then we've got a barn over here as part of the farm. Again, really nicely detailed. And through here we've got the water tank. Where is that? Just tucked over here, down by our little bit of water course, just there. So that's the farm in essence. The vehicles we start with, we've got one of the Massey just there. Again, really nice detail. We've got two John Deeres. Oh, where's one? Where is it? That's moved when I did the stream. So that's the other side of the field over there. And then we've got the smaller, older John Deere just there with the Deutz-Fahr harvester sitting there. So what we'll do, I think we'll grab... See, I want to grab one of the tractors. And I'm not going to talk about manual gear shift or anything like that. That will be in a separate video. I talked about it a lot on the stream. Do I want to go by tractor or is that going to take too long? I just want you to hear it though. Does that not look amazing? The way the light's reacting off of it. And the fact you can see your character so clearly. And there are so many customization options on it. Awesome. Right, let's grab the pickup and let's get around the map. So, oh, trailer. That's what I was going to do. Sorry. We might have to speed round some of the stuff on the map because I'm just now very conscious of time because I showed some elements. Should have run over there, shouldn't I? It was attached to the Massey. Don't mind the crops. Start filling. So this is wheat, barley, oats, canola, sorghum, sunflower, soybean, corn, wheat. Yeah, so standard crop types. I'm not going to, obviously on this particular map, it's standard plus the new ones that have been added in, so it's not, there aren't any over and above. When we start getting modded maps, we might get different stuff, but as it stands at the moment. Did I say contracts are available? They are available. They should be in... Where's my... Oh, seasonal growth. I put it on pause, that's why. Yes, no, or pause. Be careful of that because it can bounce across. So if I then go up the menu, there you go, you should have your crop calendar as well. Oh, right, pick up. Okay, we're in our pickup. Oh, that's off a bit sharpish, isn't it? Like I say, I've got auto on. When I did the stream as well, there were options for auto gearbox, manual gearbox, or manual and clutch. That's also changed in the update, and I've now just got auto and manual. So fuel station is just here. We have then got the fast food restaurant, which is the diner we saw all those lovely pictures of when we didn't know what the map was going to look like at all. And the sell point is around the back for there. Unloading. Not all of them have grates or grills and stuff now, but they all have a point where you can unload from. We'll go this way. Have I set my gearbox on manual? I think I might have done, you know. I've put it on manual by mistake, so you kind of get to see. You accelerate and then press up on the D-pad to change the gears. I managed to do that. But the next point we come to is this one here. This is the Grocery Mart, so it's got a big Y. I'm going to change that because that's going to drive me mad while I'm doing this. That's better. So the Grocery Mart. The manual gear shift is a great thing, and I like it. And I think if you're doing steering wheel and pedals, you'll love it. Controller, it's okay, but it's because you'll get used to it. But I think the problem is because I've been playing FS19 for 3 years now. Going up the gears was fine, but every time I stopped, I kept forgetting I need to put it in reverse, and it's driving me mad. Right. So the laundromat, the laundrette, is just here. So if you don't want to do your clothing from the main menu, here on this map, on ELMCREEK, open wardrobe can be done here at the laundromat. So you can change the clothes here if you don't want to do it from the menu. So from here, we're going to head out of town a little bit. Also get just a feel for the map, what it looks like. Like I say, I did kind of go around a couple. I mean, I drove around a little bit. I was talking a lot more and stuff when I was doing the stream. So you've seen a couple of bits of this, but not really to the same degree. If we go over the... Again, I'm not American. Is this an interstate? The bigger road. Come over the top. And we come to livestock market. There is a sell point here at the livestock market as well. So as well as being able to collect your animals around the other side, we have got a sell point. Just stop there. So there's your trigger. We don't have any pens or barns or anything yet, so we can't use that. And then the sell point is tucked around the corner here. I've got to remember where there's loads of sell points on here. So that one's tucked around there. And then you can bring manure. There's a few things you can bring here. From here. Now, oh yeah, map. I meant to say about the map. Map bottom left. That's following the direction you go. So it'd be like if you were orienteering. Whenever I taught cadets and stuff to map read, always orient your map the direction you're going. So that will automatically orientate, however you want to say it. To the direction you're travelling, but if I change it R1 and toggle map view, you can have the standard one that we had before. You move, the map doesn't, or then you can have the larger one if you want. So you've got 3 map options now. or 4 actually if you have it off. So head through here. We'll have a look at the map, as I always do when I do map tours. It feels weird because there's so much extra stuff to be looking at. So this is Sawmill. I think it's the Sawmill. Let me go back to the map. So we did these bits here. Went out there. That one there is the grocery mart. See, on FS19, you're fine zoomed out. When you zoom in, everything highlights to say what it is. On FS22, unless there's a setting that allows you to do that, you have to actually click on it to see what it is, which is okay. But you know, for the map tours, it was easier just to zoom in. You could see straight away what it was. So we've done the animal dealer and the animal dealer sell point. We are now up here at the sawmill, and that's wood chip sell point. The sawmill is a production chamber, so obviously you can make boards and stuff now. So that's where you put your logs, and if you click on that, that's where you sell them. Sell wood, L3. If you come over to here, every production chain building on the map will have one of these that says buy production point. So the sawmill on this map will set you back 100 grand if you want to buy one. But if you're going to use the build mode, again, that's this isn't a tutorial on the build mode, you can place any of the production chains that are available in the build mode, you can place anywhere else on the map. So like it is with placing mods on FS19, you can add extra sell points in if you want to. You don't have to have just the ones that are here on the map. And then your wood chip sell point is just around the back there. From here, now I'm not going to go right out to the far corner of the map. There's a farm on this one. I don't know what I've used. I'm going to say, I don't know what I have used. I don't know what I'm going to use for the thumbnail yet. You will obviously know because you'll have seen the thumbnail, but I've taken a few pictures around the map. Now obviously the foliage at the moment we're set in August. It's going to change because with seasons on, it's going to adjust unless you decide not to. That would be your prerogative entirely. And come up here. There's a lot of these buildings that look familiar from the various different videos that were released and sort of blog posts and pictures. But here we've got Johnson's Farmers Market with a sell point around the back here. I'm not sure why there are 2 sell points there, one on the grate and one not, because I looked through the sell point list of all the things, because it's a different menu now. If we go to the selling page there, so rather than having on the left all of the sell points and then all of the crop types going across the page, this one you've got all of the crop types. When you click on each crop type, it shows you all the places you can sell them and the prices. I actually kind of like it this way round. That said, if you're trying to find what all the things that one place sells, it's not as easy because you've then got to go through. You can still highlight the actual place if you're not sure where it is. As I've gone across there onto Johnson's Farmers Market, if I tag place, if I press an X, what did I just press then? Whoa, okay. Ah, I didn't know that either. I hadn't checked on that before. If I jump out, you'll see that's where the sell point is showing. But yeah, down at the bottom it says show price fluctuations. So you can look in there very quickly at each crop type to find out when the best time is for selling, when it starts to fall, when it starts to rise. That's a nice feature. Like that. Very cool. Actually, let's back over that. There we go. So I've got to remember which way I was going to go from here. I think it was straight on. Yeah, if you head off that direction, right into the corner, you just see the red barn over there and the silo. That's the farm in the corner here, up in the northwest. Where are we heading to now? My mind's gone blank. Grain mill. Ooh. Traffic and off rapid as well on the maps. I'm hoping it won't be this evening, probably tomorrow morning. I'll get a map tour up for Oberon. I don't know if I'm going to do an ELMCREEK one because I did a map tour of that on FS19. I'm not sure if it's changed much, but So, gee, leave that running. We're at the grain mill. The grain mill is just here with the sell point. I think it looks amazing. So there's your sell point just there. And obviously the grain mill is part of the production chains system. So if you want to buy this one's 96 grand to buy the grain mill. Now, as far as I'm aware, you can sell things here. You bring them up and you put them in, or you store them there. But if you want to, I'm pretty sure if you want to produce stuff, you have to own it. But like I say, production chains is going to be something I have to look in a little bit more detail. What I'll probably do is pick one thing, like grain or whatever it is, and we'll run through the process. We'll do a load of grain, we'll bring it and see if we can sell it. If we can't sell it, then we'll look at buying it. Then we'll look at the options of how we move things around, and hopefully all of the different guide to how-to tutorial videos will kind of all link together. But that's 96 grand for the grain mill. If we go back to here and back to the map, so we came from there, the sawmill, out and up there, round to the farmers market, Johnson's farmers market. Then we've come up here, we're now up here at the grain mill. We're going to cut across here down to the spinnery, and then I think we're going to go along and up. We'll have a quick look at the sort of cave area, but I'm not going to go in there. And then we'll head out over to this side, which was, I think it's the bowling alley, and there's another farm up in this top corner here. Right, pick up. I personally really do like having that rotating map. I know not everyone's going to like it, and I think, again, a lot of it's about choice. The menus are pretty handy now, with having quite a lot of options for turning loads of things on and off. There is a train on this map. We'll get to trains later on, because that's a bit of that's an interesting take on things now as well. I don't know if it'll be the same on all maps when people include trains, but you never know. So just on our way past, we'll just take in the corner maze. There is a maze just here. You can just see there. You can have a wander through if you wish. There's things like this old rickety barn with all the trees growing through it. I think that's fantastic. So from here, I think it's this way. Pretty sure it is. We'll just keep on going until I run out of road. Down the hill here, we should come to the spinnery. Now the spinnery isn't part of the production chain, is it? How do we get the fabric? Mine's gone blank. The sell point's just there. Oh, this is what I want to show you as well. All around the map, there's all little things, obviously because we're at the spinnery. If you go up close to that says collect. I haven't done one of these yet. Collectible. You found a sheep. There are 9 more sheep to be found. Oh, I've got 1,000 for that. Oh, I'm glad I checked that. So around the map there are all sorts of things. There's little toy combine harvesters. There's all sorts. And you come across them in all sorts of weird places. Bit of extra cash. Yeah, that's not too bad. £1,000 for finding that. So they're dotted around the map as well. From here, let's zoom out a bit. So we can take in the lovely countryside as we go. What junction do I need? Not this one, but the next one, I think. Turn in here. The first map tour is always going to be a difficult one on the new game. As we kind of get more into them and everyone becomes more kind of au fait with the different procedures and animal pens and that kind of stuff, it will be a little bit easier. Obviously it depends, because as moving forward we don't know what modders are going to bring out, what sort of production chain stuff. I probably shouldn't be driving down here at all, but we'll cut all the way through in a second. I'm just going to pull up there. We're not going to go down into there, but you can obviously come and have a search around, because there are the caves down here. Depends which way you come in from, but this we saw on a few of the visuals in the winter. I think the waterfall freezes and there's a cave system that runs down inside. It's well worth coming up here, having a bit of a look around. The fact there's all these little collectibles as well. You get £1,000 for each one. It's a little bit like the gold nuggets and originally the gold coins. it kind of forces you to search around the map, and that way you find all these little places. Because on a map tour, there's absolutely no way I can go around and show you every single point and every single nook and cranny of a map. It just doesn't work that way. But having something to go and search for kind of helps with that. There's a lovely little picnic area with a lookout just there. Yeah, there's some really cool stuff as you go around. But yeah, I mean, people are going to search, of course they are, because I don't know how long it's going to be. I think we were a good, if I'm misremembering, was it a month or 3 months? For some reason I've got it in my head 3 months. We were about 3 months in on FS19 before we got our first mod map, or am I misremembering that? Was it just a month? But in that time, people got very, very used to these maps. This is a nice little feature, little things like this, where they're doing repair work on the culvert underneath here, but you can actually go through the culvert, because in the culvert, spoiler. Thank you very much. It's another grand. But like I said, they're dotted around all over the place. There's little things like that. We're going to head to the bowling alley. Let's say there is another farm up in that corner. There's not too much traffic on this map either. It's a lot less than I thought there was going to be, I'll be honest. It does move pretty fast. When I was driving through the town, there are 2 lanes. A car came flying up behind me and I thought it was going to hit me. It actually changed lanes. Now, I don't know if it was going to change lanes there anyway. It could have been a coincidence. But it was pretty cool, got to say. Just wondering how much this is going to have to be edited out. I think I'm not even halfway around yet. But I think all the chat at the start is important because there's a load of stuff you need to know. So this is Red Marble Bowling Restaurant. The sell point is around the back. This is a nice little touch there. Cones upside down. You can grab the basketball. Don't spoil it. Oh, really? One? It bounced in front and went the wrong. Oh, that's alright. I'll take that. 2 left standing. Red Marble Bowling Restaurant. Where am I going to next? Oh, yeah. It's kind of interesting. It depends, you know, if you didn't really pay much attention to or weren't watching the videos or hadn't seen any of the pre-release blogs or videos that were put up or anything like that by Giants or anyone else that made videos on them. All of this will be new to you, but it's interesting going around seeing all these places that seem a little bit familiar, having seen so many different pictures and stuff of them. I want to go left here. So this is the biogas plant, and this is the 1 megawatt biogas plant. Now we've got tipping places, and there are 3, I think, because the biogas plant will take silage, manure, chopped beets and slurry. So you've got all different points here for the various different things, and I think the collection point, because what it produces is electricity, methane and digestate. There's a collection point here, I think. I think it's that way around. Was that putting in? Like I say, it's a difficult one because I haven't done anything with the biogas plants yet. Testing how the biogas plants work, what goes where you collect things from, is a tricky proposition. But putting in is down there. If you want to buy the biogas plant, bear in mind this is a 1 megawatt. This one is 1.5 million. There are smaller ones that you can buy. They're in the build mode system. There's a 99, a 250 and a 500 megawatt, no, kilowatt, and then this one's the megawatt. 2 very large silage clamps at the top here for your chaff. So yeah, quite pricey for the biogas plant here. As far as I'm aware, like I say, haven't checked it yet. If they're following how they did on FS19, you'll need to own the biogas plant to get paid out. And again, there is an assumption on my part here at this point that you'll get paid out at midnight. I'm not sure why they would change that. That said, I don't know why they changed it from FS17 to 19, but they did. So now we're at the store. Main store icon is just here. Don't think we can go into the building. I don't think the door opens. No, just open the shop menu. And then your repair, service, repaint, all of that is done from here. So customize, repair, repaint. I assume selling is done here. If you've got a vehicle, let's just drive this in and see if it will give me the option to sell. Doesn't have to check, does it? Oh yeah, sell. Just had to have something in there for it to work. It seems weird seeing the... You get so used to the menus being a certain way, and now they're different. You look and think, whoa, that's odd. Just something new to get used to. From here, we're going to head over the road to the bakery. Turn on the road here. So, bakery sell point, or delivery point, is just there. Oh, muck spreader. And then if you want to buy the bakery as part of your production chains, to buy the bakery is 50 grand. Right, so let's go back to the map again. So we came from here, the cave system, out and round. The culvert was up the top here. Then we came round there to Red Marble Bowling, down there to the biogas plant, to the store. We're now out here at the bakery. We did all that at the start. That's where the farm is. We're going to head out and head down. There's quite a few on top of each other here, so it's not too bad. Weirdly, when we looked in the silo and we pulled the trailer up, I think, again, we've got used to on FS19, that when you go to load or unload in, or unload, no, it is load, isn't it? Yeah, when you're taking something out of a silo, it tells you the capacity. On here, it doesn't. I don't know if that's going to change. We've got our oil producing sunflower oil factory just here. Putting in is done there. And obviously, you've got pallet places on all of these now as well. So you put in there, and the pallets will be spawning in various different locations. But the buy point for the factory is around the side there. But so for the sunflower oil factory built into the map, it's 80 grand. From there, we've got the debris crusher. So if you are picking rocks off your field and you want to make a bit of money, you can just make a rock pile if you want to have a rock pile on your map. Of course you can. But if you want to bring them and sell them and make a bit of money from those rocks, you can bring them up here to the debris crusher, and they'll make them into hardcore, gravel, whatever you want it to be. I think you can tip outside or inside, depends how you want to go about it. That's there. Then we go from here to the grape processing plant, which is right next door. Again, point is there. Raisins or grape juice, I suppose, depends what you go for. You're going to appear here, and to buy that, it's going to cost you 80 grand. Across the road then, this is where we kind of approach the railway line. We've got the grain pool east and train. Now, I'm assuming these work like the railroad silos, because we've got these points here for tipping into and I think taking out of. So I think we can store. But when I tried this with the train, and I tried it off camera, it didn't tell me what the capacity was. So I have no idea what capacity this one or the other one is. Which is, yeah, a bit worrying. They're not anywhere to be seen on the actual menus anywhere. And if you do it by train, you can just see the little icons just there. So you can do it by train, load, unload, or sell. We'll just check in the sell point menu for that. Let's go down to show current prices, grape processing. Maybe they are just silos, not sell points then. Because they're not coming up on any of those, are they? Could well be just silos then for transferring, not actual sell points themselves. And then we've got a lime station just up there. Now we come to an interesting bit. And I mentioned this on the stream, so again, if you've watched the stream it won't be a shock, but I didn't actually show it happening or what you did with it. So when we get to the railway line, at either end of the railway line on ELMCREEK, which goes right across the map, it kind of bifurcates the map. And it goes east-west or west-east. We've got 3 of these on the map, and these are for renting the train. Now it's 1,000 per hour, so if you have it for a full hour it's 1,000. If you have it for a short amount of time, if I just rent it now, it will now tell me the train is going to arrive in 2.2 kilometres. Now it depends whereabouts it is on its route, whether it comes in from that way or it reverses. The last time I tried this, it reversed that way. The train will come to you, it will stop here. You can then get on the train and then you can use it for transporting goods, which is great. Now if we go to the map, I'll show you what I mean, because we are now here. So we've gone down and done all of these. We're now here at the rental part. That one there says Goldcrest Valley, as does that one there. So it's like it was when we got the Alpine DLC with ELMCREEK, that if you get on the train, there's sell point prices for Goldcrest Valley. So it simulates the train going off to another town to sell. So at the moment, there's nothing showing there. Oh, there you go. As we get close, you can see we're at the map edge there. So you can get on the train, you can send the train off, or you drive it. If you drive it, it knocks you out of the train, and it will head off to Goldcrest Valley to sell. So if the best price is Goldcrest Valley, you can send the train off, and you can go and do that. So if I come back over, it should say, there we go, we're in a few hundred metres. It will arrive in a minute. If I return the train at any point, it will charge you for how much time you've had it for. But it works out 1,000 for an hour. So yeah, if you have it for less than, it's an amount commensurate with how much time you have it for. Will it charge me? Don't know which way it's coming from though. Assume it's coming that way. There it is. Yeah, you can just see it coming now. Look. Down come the barriers. And it'll pull up and stop. And there are 3 of these points, one here, one out the other end, and one slap bang in the middle. So I can come and get onto the train, and then I can use the train exactly how I have done on previous maps before. Pressing triangle changes to train cars, carriages, so for loading or unloading, and I'll show you what I mean. If I'm on the second one, from the train, if we back up, I love the fact it's a tractor on the front, not a train. Right, so start filling. If I click L3, there's nothing in the silo, but it doesn't tell me what the capacity is. I have no idea how much that will hold at all. The other thing is then, if we drive forward, I'll show you what it does. Again, the more of these map tours we do, so the train will now drive to Goldcrest Valley and will turn on the other side of the map. So if you've got stuff on it and you want it sold at Goldcrest Valley, that's where it will take it to. If not, you can use it and kind of go backwards and forwards. This map's a little bit different because the train just runs right across the middle. It doesn't do a loop round or anything like that. From here then, there is another farm down in the southeast corner of the map. But again, I would urge you, come on, have a bit of a scour around, have a look. If you turn left down here, it takes you down to that corner, and you'll see it right down there in the corner. It's a lovely looking farm with the water towers of ELMCREEK on. That's fantastic. From here, we're heading west back across the map, and we are going to, where are we going to now? Oh yeah, carpentry. There's all these buildings and stuff, you know, loads of stuff to look at and see, and you know, well, carpentry is just here. So this is where you can do furniture production. So if you bring your wooden boards, I'm not sure if the carpentry will take wood or wood chips, but if you bring your pallets, which is I think what the other point of it's for, your pallets of boards to here, you can then make furniture. And to buy the carpentry here, we'll set it back 60 grand. If you're into your carpentry. From carpentry, we're going to Feed and Grain South. This facility is huge. Now, talking of that, and I haven't been through all of the vehicles and machinery and equipment because they're part of the base game stuff. There's no modded stuff that's been added onto here, but it feels like it's modded stuff because it's all brand new to the game. Under the build mode, there are some colossal silos. I think one of them 16 million litres. This is just a sell point. There we go. So Grainport East, not Grainport East. Feed and Grain South. I was looking at the wrong part of my list. And then continue on again. There's loads of wide open spaces, loads of patches you can buy and you can cut for grass. I love all these little creek beds and river systems. It's got a very natural feel to it. I'm looking forward to going on and having a look on Herbellaron as well. That's going to be fascinating too. So I've got a little farm area here. But the next sell point we're heading to is up here, and this is the biomass facility. South Valley Biomass Energy. You can bring wood chips and straw, I think it is, to this one. Again, really big facility here for biomass. We come around there, you'll see so I wonder if you can just bring lumber here then, because on the actual sell point things it does say straw pops up and this is one of the sell points, and for wood chips this is one of them. But the fact you've got this here, sell wood, I assume you can just bring logs directly to here. It's quite cool. Should we check the map again? Probably not a bad idea. So from here, all of this cluster, we turned the bend down and I kind of looked over to that corner. We did carpentry, we did the big facility here as you can see on the map, the feed and grain south. We've come along here to South Valley Biomass Energy. When I did the stream, I couldn't get onto there without zooming right in. So again, this has had an update and that's more accessible. There's your Goldcrest Valley point. There's your rental point for the train, and that's the next silo. We're going to head round to that. So that's Grain West silo. Again, tried it with the train. I couldn't work out what the capacity was. But that's where you can collect from. You can put into it, up the ramps, take out of it from just there. Massive buildings. There goes the train again. Now, one thing I was surprised about, and I'm assuming this is supposed to be like this, is how sharp the angle was on this. But I'm assuming it's supposed to be because the bridge was kind of put in and then they've just kind of tarmacked up to it. It just seemed a little bit sort of sharp angle, so I'm assuming it's intentional. Next up then, we've got the cereal factory and the dairy. Cereal factory is just here. If we come around the back, little point there, pallet point just there, and then if you want to buy it, 110 grand for the cereal factory. I thought it was a person stood there. I looked over and thought it looked like the shape of a person. How weird is that? I suppose it's a little bit like the Cadbury's, doesn't it? The dairy thing. But your dairy point's over there. Put it in there. Pallet point is here. And then to buy the dairy, should you wish to do so, we'll set you back 70 grand. We have also got, on the other side of the crossroad, the baseball stadium, the ELMCREEK Wolves. I've seen that a few times on various different pictures. I suppose you could do a whole, if you're doing a Let's Play and a storyline, you could come in. Could be part of your job to come and cut the grass at the stadium, maybe, or something. I don't even know if that's possible at this point. I assume so. Is there a workshop trigger over here, or is this just for show? It's a tyre centre. Right, from here then. Oh, that's interesting. That me part there is obviously blocked. So normally the people will walk through and that kind of thing. If I move off now, will she carry on walking? Cool. Right, so let's check the map one more time. Well, from there, across the road, done both of those. We're going to drive back around, which brings us back to our main farm where we started. That point in the middle is another rental point for the train. There's some other buildings and stuff there. But like I said, if you come onto here and start from scratch or Farm Manager, you don't have the sleep trigger in place. But on New Farmer, you can't sell it. It's not available in your list of owned things, so to speak. If we go down to the used vehicle sales, amazing. Some of the stuff that comes up, the price reductions there. 67% off the Prinorth Raptor. That's amazing. Yeah, I thought this section here, and I would imagine once you buy buildings or you come onto a map where you do own buildings already, it will show you those on there, owned items. There'll be a section, I would imagine, for silos and all that kind of thing. It's weird that the silo and the farmhouse aren't showing on there, but there's no way of selling them. You can't get rid of them. This is a nice little feature as well. If you didn't watch the stream, we've got packs available. So if you're not sure, new to the game, or you don't know what, some of the new things, if you click on packs, it gives you a selection of vehicles and equipment needed to be able to do that particular operation. So in this case, grapes. And when you look at the slot counts as well, what we're looking at 12, 15, 3, 4. I mean, they're very, very low. And on the stream, I looked at a lot of the John Deere stuff, and most of the slot counts on John Deere stuff are down to like 8s and 7s and 9s, and not up in your 45s and stuff like it was. So not only have they really optimized all of that and brought the slot counts right down, bearing in mind, like I say, the detail of this map, but it's only 300 slots with start equipment. On the other two game modes, it comes down to 214 or thereabouts. Like I say, it's had an update, and I don't know whether or not that's going to sit the same now. I mean, my other one was only out by 3. What was it? 3? 7. 293 to 300. So not a huge amount. And when you've got 5,155 to play with on PS5 or Xbox One, no, Xbox Series S and X, and if you're on PS4 Pro or Series Xbox One, it's 2,000. I've got to keep these things 2,470 something or 2,749 if you're on the older gen consoles, which is still massive. So everything's lower slot requirements, and we've got way more slots available. It's it's brilliant. So that's ELMCREEK. Like I say, not a deep dive into all the actual practices and the way things actually work in detail. Those will be done in separate videos. This is just the map tour. I tried to do it as much like any of the other map tours I've done. I know I've talked a little bit about some of the features, but only because they've changed a bit since I did my stream. If you haven't watched the stream, I know it's a bit long, and I always find when I go on to watch streams by a lot of people I like to watch, when they're like 2 hours long or even longer, I end up breaking them up into chunks and that kind of thing, or I put them on the background and kind of listen while I'm doing other things. But that's ELMCREEK. I keep going to my side panel. If you didn't watch the stream, side panel's not working on PS5. I know. Shock horror. And it is absolutely shock horror. I'm 100% gutted. No, is it that one I want? Potentially. I'm so used to turning off my help window without having to go into the menu. There you go. Great sounds, great map, loads of new stuff to look forward to. That's ELMCREEK. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.